Hello, I welcome you to another podcast, hidden podcast. Today we are in Besedera Gallery on Kamil Prince suggestion with Ozlem Akin.
Ozlem.
Ještě jedno je to Beseder Gallery.
Beseder.
Yes.
Beseder, yeah.
So please one more time because
of course I will not cut it, but I can say it again. Hello, I welcome you at another podcast, hidden podcast, today with Beseder Gallery on suggestion of Kamil Prince.
You are welcome.
With the curator of this exhibition.
Yes.
Ozlem Akin. I wanted to say something, but I forgot. Yeah, the name of this exhibition is Size Matters. Would you like to say something about why you decided to do this exhibition? Why you decided to invite Akin to podcast and why we are here?
Yeah, definitely. So hello, I welcome you at another hidden podcast, and it's a pleasure to invite you here to the exhibition, which is still ongoing at the Beseder Gallery. And I choose Ozlem for our next podcast because she is an artist, and I met her at Art Prague before, I think, 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. And she is doing interesting artworks, and she is also a filmmaker. And I knew that, but I didn't knew that she also curates exhibitions. So I think it's important to and interesting to make known artists who also make exhibition, because who else would be better curator than somebody that knows and experience how it's to be curated by someone else, and therefore can make it maybe even better. So I am enthusiastic to find out more about Ozlem's work, curating and artwork. And maybe I would like to ask why is chosen the name of Size Matters? What's philosophy about it and behind it?
Well, thank you, first of all, for having me. It's called Size Matters because this is a small works show. All works are maximum 25 by 25 centimeters. So, therefore, size actually does matter. But the naming of it, there's also like a little word joke involved. Like the matter, it could also be understood as matters of size, not just a statement that size matters. So,
25 centimeters is above average.
Yeah, for Philip, of course.
Sorry, I interrupt you. Hello.
No, that was all, I guess.
And how many artists are exhibiting, and what was how did you choose them?
There are 10 artists, including myself. I also have a few works in the show. It wasn't necessarily like a proper curating thing, to be honest, because everything came up rather late. So I was already contacting artists like end of summer or in the beginning of September. So there was not much time. So I basically just contacted my like favorite artists.
Czech ones?
Yeah. Like the criteria was like for the artists to be living and working in Czech Republic for logistic purposes, because since it was already sort of late, like we didn't really have time to do any kind of open calls or anything like that. So yeah. And for example, one of the artists, Barbara, just produced completely new work.
Barbara Dohnolová.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Barbara Dohnolová. She produced completely new work, 7 of them, just for this show.
Nice.
Yeah, whereas like it was also a challenge for some other artists. For example, Andy Allen, who's like always works in like really large scale, and he wasn't able to make anything new for this period because he has a problem with his wrist, so he's not really able to paint for a bit. So that, and also Hana Svobodova, she's also working in really large scale, but luckily she had some like older works which were small enough.
Nice.
So yeah.
And will you do you already having thought another exhibitions? Perhaps size doesn't matter.
Maybe, but this also, like, I must say that this was my first like real official curating experience. So I'm not really like a curator, but I did curate this show. I mean, I did enjoy it. So yes, I would like to continue in this endeavor. Maybe.
And why did you decide to do the limit for the artworks size limit?
Yeah, like I've been seeing a lot of exhibitions, like small works exhibitions around the world, like not physically seeing them, but I know that it's been happening for quite some time, and I've always I've always worked in like really small formats. Just recently, just for the last few years, like a couple of years, I've been making like bigger artworks, but before that it was like really small always. So I'm always fond of small works anyway. And like I've realized that there hasn't really been anything like that here, and there's this whole importance of like big is better, like the grandiose of things, but I still think that some small works are really, really more interesting than just the big loose stuff. Like you can see, for example, like they're so like you really need to get intimate and get the details, and there's like a different kind of relationship, I think, between small works and the viewer than the works that require you to take a step back and put a distance.
Yeah. And how many artists are at the exhibition?
10.
10. Is it the number you wanted, or it was luck?
Well, I was aiming for like at least 10, really, but I was hoping for maybe like a bit more, but yeah, it ended up being 10. But it wasn't like a set number. I don't have any particular connection to the number 10.
And I think it's an interesting question of Philip, if you have any like ideas for future exhibitions, because I think you did a good job at creating this first exhibition of yours. Is there some like theme you would like to exhibit next time, or some ideas or crazy dreams?
Well, I do have like a few ideas, but like we'll see. I don't like. For example, I did this show 6 years ago. It was called Heart for Heart's Sake. It was a group exhibition that I sort of curated, but like there was no curator written or like
They just used to you.
No, it was the first exhibition that I ever did at all. So like even as a solo or like anything. So yeah, it was not proper, but it still was a really nice exhibition. So I think I might want to repeat that somehow, because the theme was really nice. It was we had the opening on 14th of February, and it was like sort of like an anti-Valentine's Day theme. Like all the artworks contained some sort of like heart image on it, but there were like abstract pieces. There were some really we were looking for the visceral feeling of love, and not just the pink, romanticized bubblegum version of it. So
yes, love is evil and destroys the ratio of the people and should be illegal. And why was it improper? You have mentioned. What was there missing?
Experience, I guess. Like,
but yeah, I think you are too humble. But it's good, because many artists are too big egoists, and it's for vomiting sometimes. Nice. And
thank you.
And it was also your series of works, because I saw on your web pages the name of Heart for a Heart's Sake. So it was also the name of your series.
No, on my website I have that section to just put the works that I had in that exhibition. I did have actually quite a bit of pieces there. That was the first time I started making like these 3D hearts, and yeah.
And you have another series I have noticed. And how about the rose garden or the sacred rose garden?
The promised rose garden.
Promised. I am terrible. My memory is destroyed by drugs and alcohol.
Rose garden.
It's not secret. It's the promised rose garden.
And this is some kind of new series you're working on?
It was the name of the exhibition, solo exhibition that I had actually here in Bessedar Gallery a year and a half ago, in 2023 May. But it's also the names of the pieces I made with the hands and the rose thorns and the pink fluff behind them. It sort of is like how the some of the albums, music albums, have the name of one of the songs. So I went with that. I gave the exhibition the name of one of the pieces. But that was also like the general theme. So, the saying, like, I never promised you a rose garden. That was the starting point. But like, if I was promised a rose garden, that was my feeling, like it would look like that kind of thing. Like the first two pieces, when I was making them, I was like in a really, really dark spot. And like there were many times that I said, I wish I was just a tiny bit happier so that I didn't have to make these things.
Did you try drink branik?
I tried and it didn't work.
Yeah.
But I'm still trying. And did you have you had some depressions, or were there something bad happening in your life?
I mean,
both maybe.
It was also sort of like during COVID-ish. The first pieces I made, it was in 2022, so it was still like the COVID was still lingering. So like the living situations and like everything, like the situation I was in was still continuing, and I mean, I do get depressed often, like every other artist. So, but yeah, this was something like I just didn't. It was not just the depression, but I felt like it was an unsolvable situation at the time. I mean, now it's solved, so I'm not that desperate, but yeah.
So what kind of narcotics? Or just a prescription?
I don't really have any prescription.
Yeah, it was just a joke. Anyway, to move on from depression, let's go to heart. And I want to ask about your heart on your neck. Is this one of your works?
Yes.
Nice.
Thank you.
And what do you made? What is it made of?
It's acrylic resin, alcohol ink, and varnish.
And you do it by hand, and then
I made a mold.
And then.
I'm still not very good at mold making. So this one mold I made for this like 3-dimensional one is not really that good. So I have to, maybe 1 out of 3 or 4 tries comes out sort of okay. Yeah, I need to learn better mold making.
And do you have studio, or you do it at home?
I have a studio at home. Not ideal, but.
And do you have one room for just a studio, or you have?
It started out like that, but now like the third, 3/4 of the whole flat is my studio.
Yeah, I was at I don't remember now the name. Anyways, Tomáš Němec, I was at his studio, and he had like 1/10 of the space was his living room, and everything else was just paintings.
Yeah, I have just like one little corridor and the bedroom separate from like anything else, because I also have 2 cats, so it's there.
They like to play with hearts.
No, but I work very messy, and there's like so much, sending dust and everything. I just don't want them to get sick, eat something that they're not supposed to, like some paint or anything like that. So.
And I have this feeling that you are not originally from Czech Republic.
No, I'm not.
You're from Turkey.
Yeah, I'm from Turkey.
Why did you move?
Well, I first moved here to study animation. I studied film in Turkey, and that my graduation film was a stop motion animation. And I really enjoyed it. And then I was researching like where to study just this. It was back in 2008, but the world had already gone crazy with the whole CGI, so there was not really many options. There weren't many options. One was like CalArts in California, which was like completely out of question, of course. And there was FAMU and Voška in Zlín, Filmovačka Zlín. So I came to Czech Republic for 2 days during the open days of FAMU. And found out that they were offering just 1 year of a ridiculous study for foreigners, like if you don't speak Czech. And it was mostly just like film history and all the things like that, which I already studied, and I wanted to just make films. So I visited Zlín, and I really fell in love with the studios and everything, because like those are the historic studios where Hermina Tyrlova, Karel Zeman, all these people worked. It actually is the place where the very first puppet animation was shot by Hermina Tyrlova. And some of the old equipment from like 70, 80 years ago, that they were still there being used by the students. So it was, I still did require Czech language on paper, but the head of the animation department was like half Czech, half English. So he was like, okay, we can manage. So I came to Zlín.
And how long have you been in Zlín?
2.5 years.
20.5?
2.5.
And what years?
From 2008 to middle of 2010.
Yeah, I had some romance with one Turkish girl, but she was Erasmus, and it was around this time.
Really?
Have you been going to Pštros?
Oh yeah, that might be. We're going to Krtek more.
Yeah. So I think the Krtek was newer one. Yeah, I know.
Like it was a friend of ours, like one of the classmates was working there, so that was like one of our main intensives to go there. But
That are some cheap bars at Zlín.
yeah, but in that bar, Pštros, I lost my favorite hat.
Yeah.
Okay,
How was it? Well, how did it look?
It was like a dark teal blue. Like
But it?
Mm.
Oh. I don't know about that anything. But I did this photo book, or maybe a photo pamphlet. It was culture in Zlín, and many times it happened that I met someone, and then I found them. I took picture of them previously, so I will check my my archive if I shot you.
Okay.
So that's our.
You're from Zlín.
I was there. I had some woman that
okay.
I was having relations with.
Well, if it was during 2010 or like late 2009, it probably wasn't me, because I wasn't going out at all. I was just so busy with the filming.
I think I was there after 2012, I think.
Oh, then.
Oh.
I was already in Prague.
Yeah, all right.
And you won some awards. Was it in Turkey or also in Czech?
No, not
Orange.
Not in Czech, but that first film, my graduation film from university in Turkey, it did win quite a lot of awards that year, especially in Turkey, in like most of the festivals, either like the best short film award or the best animation award. So it was really, really nice. And I did get a mention award, I think, in either in Dresden or Leipzig. I think it was in Dresden. The Turkish German film festival, something like that.
Congratulations.
So thank you. It feels like a lifetime ago, but
And you're already done with animations, or you're still in hope and doing something?
I used to, but I guess not really, not anymore. I had some not very nice experiences, especially in Zlín, during the shooting of my graduation film, which was a really ambitious project. It was going to be 16 minutes with so many puppets. They're all lip syncing and
times 60 times 12, so it's many.
Yeah, I have 8 minutes of footage. But also during the shooting of it, I don't know if I should say this.
Say it. Of course, say all bad things we want.
Yeah, it turns out the school was going bankrupt, but they didn't tell anyone. One day I went to the studio to shoot, and there were no lights, not even a redhead in the whole school. And I was like, oh, well, what kind of film school is this? What's happening? Because it wasn't just me, but all the other film students, from the newer, because, I must also say that I was also one of the last people who get to study animation there, because the next year, the second year of my studies, they didn't take in any animation students at all. So we were the last of that, which was it was already sad. But they were still taking in the production, and the audiovisual and the directing people. So they still needed lights. So I investigated, and turns out that they said, okay, we have this sponsorship deal with a studio, a light studio from Prague. So they need to take the lights every year for maintenance. But they're going to bring it back. They're going to be back next week.
So the lights.
The lights, yeah. So I was, okay, fine. So I waited a week, and then there still were no lights. They said the same thing. Oh yeah, it's taking a bit longer, but it's gonna be here next week. So this took about 3 months, week after week, and I'm in Zlín. There's nothing to do, and I can't really start doing anything new. I'm just waiting at home, depressed. Not knowing. And in the end, I was really fed up, and I really wanted to finish the film, because I was also the co-producer of the film. Whatever actual costs were there, I was paying all the materials for the set building and everything. So, and I was even using my own computer and my own camera. So the school was only providing
lights
and the studio and the tripods and all that. But so I started looking into renting my own equipment and the little studio just to be able to finish. And then I sent them an email saying, look, I really want to finish this film with or without you. I'm looking into my options, etc. I think I sent I sent this email on a Friday, and then I got a reply back on the following Monday afternoon around 3. I know this particularly because the email said, well, we decided to abandon your project. So as soon as I received the email, I just rushed to the school. Within 20 minutes, I'm there, and I just find my studio completely empty. All my sets, everything was gone.
They stole it.
Yeah. That's why they took the time to just reply to say that they're abandoning me. So yeah, I found all my sets and everything locked in the basement, and that was the end of it. I never was able to take them back, and then I found out months, maybe even years later, that they really did go bankrupt, and some bank took over all their possessions, including my sets. So.
You should have set it on fire. Maybe
Yeah.
they would have some money from the insurance. And are you planning some film shooting in the future if there is occasion? And would it be also with puppets, or maybe you would be interested in something completely new?
Dead animals.
Yeah, I would.
The animals,
I would see
like
that
as
film.
puppets.
Yeah, they will
Yeah.
rot in the end of the movie.
That kitten.
Yeah, no, I've already, that's why I ended up with the puppets. I've done live action during my studies, and working with people is not really for me.
So that animals, that is the way.
Yeah, could be. I can make puppets out of dead animals if you supply.
I have a guinea pig at home, and I'm looking forward when it dies, so then I can give it to you.
Please don't look forward to it.
Yeah,
when
it's
dies.
expensive. I don't want to take care of it. I can hardly take care of myself, so I will bring it in some bag. Then you can make like a nice movie and lip syncing. Nice. And how your other artistic plans? Do you also paint, or are you going to make some new sculptures, or what's your plans in the future, or some maybe also some dreams and things that you would like to accomplish?
Well, there is one exhibition that I would like to do as big solo, which would contain also the works from the Promised Rose Garden and the prologue exhibition I had this year in QR. It was like a mini exhibition, but with the screaming blobs.
Screaming blobs.
Yeah, with the threads and that installation. And in Czech, it's the name I'm imagining is Mezinárodní vztahy, or Mezinárodní vztahy. No, it's like mezinárodní, but Mezinárodní.
Oh.
Yeah, because it's a word that was used to describe me during my time in Zlín by the head of animation department, and it got stuck. It was stuck with me, and I think it's a really nice joke.
Oh, international, and you are difficult to handle, like my guinea pig.
Yeah, and then the English version would be not really the translation, but a touchy subject.
Mm-hmm.
Touchy?
Touchy, yeah, because it's gonna have like a lot of like tactile looking pieces, just like those hands. And also touchy subject is like, something that you don't really want to talk about.
Which is this podcast about, of course.
Oh,
completely.
okay. So yeah, that my dream would be to do that exhibition in a good space. I
Hidden
guess.
gallery, for instance.
No, it's too big. No.
So we are canceling the podcast, okay?
No, but Hidden Gallery, I would love to do something in Hidden Gallery, but for this exhibition, it's like the pieces are actually big, unlike my regular things. So, but yeah, sure, why not a collaboration?
No.
Okay, we don't cry then. We've cancelled the Hidden Gallery just now. And what are your artists that you take inspiration of? Are there maybe some Czech puppet makers that inspired you to go there? Or
well, of course there's Švankmajer. That's on the.
I thought so.
Yeah. There's an undeniable inspiration, and of course also Kafka. That I was reading Kafka a lot, and that film, that my first film, was actually based on a short story by Kafka.
Therefore it was a German name, like Gemeinschaft.
Gemeinschaft, yeah.
At least something I remember good. And so nice. So it was based on Kafka. And how did you work with the topic? Was it like verbatim everything what was in the book you used, or you make some own story just based on with your own fantasy? Or
no, this is a really short story. It's like maybe 1 or 2 paragraphs, like literally very short, and it's not even included in like most of his short story collections. I think it was my cousin who read it, who sent it to me first. A couple of years before I actually did the film. So I first wrote the script for my script writing class, and then I really liked it. So that's why I decided to do it as my graduation project. So what I did was, since it's a really short and actually a descriptive story, but it's told by a narrator. And, in film school, we're taught that using a narrator is the lazy way to do things. So I was trying to avoid it, especially during that script writing class. And yeah, I only changed the ending a little bit because the original story doesn't really have an ending. It's like, and so it goes on like that. So I just added an ending. Yeah. Should I spoil the story? It's about
completely.
Okay.
Spoil Kafka.
Was it a sad story or like ending or a happy end?
Yeah, well, for me, when I was writing it, I thought it was really sad because it's about these 5 guys who don't want to be 6, but I wanted to also like torture the 6th as much as I can.
Nice. I would do it so.
But I was also feeling very connected to the 6th, like emotion wise or like feeling wise, being excluded and like not fitting in, sort of like that. So to me, it was supposed to be a bit sad, and but it's actually funny. Like, or people laugh at the end a lot. During the first screening I don't know where it was, I think it was like that festival. And when people started laughing, I was a bit sad. I must be honest. I was like, why are you laughing? It's tragic. But then, I got used to it, and I also like saw the point of view of the laughers.
I think it's really Kafkaesque, because I have heard that when Kafka wrote the trial, he was actually like reading it in pub to his friends. Everybody was laughing because it was so absurd. Nobody could imagine that it could be like true. So they were like really laughing about something that can never happen. But now it like is happening right now. So.
Yeah, no, but I also read about that, but it was like very recent, within the last, I don't know, maybe 6-7 years, that he was just reading his writings and they were all having a laugh. So it's fun.
So we wanted to make everyone cry.
No, that was not the goal at all.
Why not? It's nice.
To me, it was like not really. I don't know. It was unexpected to get laughter, but I think it's good. It's better because it's really harder to make people laugh without slapstick. So,
Philip wanted to ask something.
I think the listeners, can you describe your works? I think they don't know what's going on. They can see the heart, and I think it's a pretty start. Maybe because there is your work, but I don't think I have it on the camera.
Those are also mine.
Those on the left?
The fixed
collages.
collages.
I think it's maybe on that camera.
I don't know how to describe it.
Well, do you have some theme you are dealing with your works?
Art and thorns and little like how to say that it's like veins. It looks like it's red, and I always have like a feeling from your art that it's like from living parts of bodies, although it's like tiny.
Yes. Yeah.
They are the red ropes, but it's like it's very similar to our vein, and it's a little bit cryptic. But also when it's small, it's also like cute, but horror-like. And it's like a dichotomy, like some synthesis of something that is maybe pink and fluffy, and something that scares you and that's painful, and some like symbol of being sick and dying and having heart out of your breast. So it's interesting.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of body horror
Nice.
as a genre.
Body horror.
Yeah.
That's something happening to people with their bodies in the movie. Or what is body horror? Like two bodies go in the woods.
No, and like Cronenberg,
Mm-hmm.
for example, he's the
The
godfather
Flower,
of or
yeah.
grandfather of body horror
Mhm.
as a genre. So it doesn't necessarily have to be happening to the body itself, but all the body parts, and like that also is, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, there are some themes that I always circle back to, like the hands and organs like heart and, some visceral feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd have to.
But I think your work also goes from your previous animations that you do like objects.
Yeah, well, when I first started studying animation, even I wasn't making puppets myself. The puppets for my first film, I didn't make them myself. I did make the sets, but I had no idea what I was doing. It was like when it comes to like sculptures or art in general, I'm very much self-taught. But yeah, I guess you can see the lingering effects of my filmmaking past.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if you studied animation in Turkey and in Zlin?
No, I studied film filmmaking, like a director in Turkey, and then traditional animation in Zlin.
And what was your final movie at Turkey?
Yeah, it was this Gemeinschaft.
Gemeinschaft. The
With
Kafkas.
the 5, yeah. The 5 who
And
didn't want to be
you
6.
unfortunately couldn't finish the one in Zlin.
yeah. That was gonna be a tragic story, but it in the end ended up being a tragic story itself.
And were there any differences culturally or anything at school with Turkey versus Czech Republic? Maybe Czech was more free or different.
Every Czech is alcoholic. I think that maybe a little bit surprised, but this is what we are.
I mean, the main difference was that I felt very old because even though I was 22 when I first came to Zlin, but all the people, they were just fresh out of high school. And it was not a uni, it was a voshka. I think there was like a main difference was that. And like before 25, I think like any kind of small age difference feels a lot more. So to me, like 4 years of age difference felt like very, very much like a difference. And I felt I felt the oldest I've ever felt in my life during my time in Zlin, because like they were also drinking like every day and for so much, and I couldn't really keep up with that. But apart from that, I shot Gemeinschaft all on my own in my living room. The only support I got from school wasn't really even from the school itself, but from one of my professors who lended me his Dedolite set.
Which?
Dedolites.
What is that?
They're like little spotlight kind of things.
And you can do...
Yeah, and yeah, they're perfect for stop motion, especially, or like maybe product shooting, stuff like that. He had a set of, I think, 3, and I also got a redhead from the school, but that was about it. Like I did the rest all by myself.
Cool.
So yeah, that's the main difference. In Zlin, I had the studio, like even some people helping sometimes.
until you didn't.
Yeah, until I didn't. Yeah, but yeah, that's why I also wanted to study animation or go to an actual, like, proper school where I could continue making stop motion films, like puppet animations, because I didn't want to do it at home again. And that's why now I can't really say, oh yeah, I would like to make a film, because I don't know. It's a bit much.
But Tim Cook says you can do a movie with an iPhone.
Yeah, you can, but when it's stop motion, it's still,
Yeah,
it
you
takes
have
so
to
much
stick with the
time.
light, and you need to studio that nothing moves, etc.
Mm.
And do you experience some like cultural differences in comparison to Turkey with Czech Republic?
Yes, like one of my favorite things is that people don't care here. Sometimes at one point in the beginning, it started bothering me a little bit because it was borderline apathy. But in Turkey, like, everyone is so nosy. Everyone is in your business. Like, but I mean everyone. People that you don't know, like people on the street. Everyone has an opinion about you. They're vocal about it too. So here I felt pretty much freer, a lot freer. Also, like, there's a huge difference about being a woman in Turkey versus being a woman here. It's a lot more comfortable. I have no problem or even like a scare going alone anywhere at night. So I think that's really important, because Turkey is just going worse and worse for that matter. What else?
So you're not going back?
No, not as it is. No. Also the everyday atheism, that was my favorite thing. Still is, like, the lack of religion. Because I'm very anti-religion in general. So it was.
So you're a Satanist.
No, anti-religion.
Oh, that's a pity. So your friends were into religious in Turkey, and you like hated it, and do you believe maybe in like life after death or not?
What?
If you believe in life after death,
Me?
Yeah,
No.
No, so just darkness complete.
Yeah, of course. Like, or not, like, you turn into whatever you turn into. If you're buried, you become like bug food.
No.
If you're donated to science, you become student.
But I
I
realized
like it.
the darkness is wrong.
Yeah, I wouldn't say darkness. Like,
Because
it's nothingness.
if someone take your eyes from your head, you won't see dark. You don't see dark. You just don't have the feeling. You see nothing. So
yeah, but to say that you would have to be born blind to not know what the feeling of seeing is. So, like, if you were to lose your sight now, then you would call it darkness.
no, you wouldn't have the feeling of seeing anything.
Yeah, but right now you know what visual is. Like, you know how to see, right? So if you were to become suddenly blind, then you would know, because of your past as a seeing person, you would know the difference, and you would just call this new type of being in dark, because that's what it is gonna be for you. But for people
Name
who
of
were
your
born
exhibition.
blind completely, then of course they don't have any. But then again, blindness is also a spectrum.
Yeah.
Some people see just light.
I think like 95 blind people see something.
Yeah, but they see, like, it's just maybe they see light, not darkness.
there are
It's
many,
not the same as
yeah.
having your eyes closed.
Yeah, I think I don't know, I'm not blind yet. It can happen very soon, maybe, when I drink too many braníčeks, but I think that blind people have some like visions, like in fantasy, that when we dream or when we close the eyes and imagine something, I think they have some inner sight, it's not physical, but maybe they can form something because they can have like understanding of 3D space.
Yes, but not visual. Like, for example,
Sounds,
the people
touch,
who are born
smell.
blind don't get schizophrenia ever.
So schizophrenia just because I'm looking at some people.
I mean, when I first learned that fact, it was like really fascinating to me, and because it is apparently connected to where schizophrenia happens or where it affects the visual part of your brain. So if you are already lacking that from birth, but like if you go blind after, you can still get schizophrenia. It's not like I'm blind, so I'm not immune kind of thing. But yeah,
New version of lobotomy to cure schizophrenia.
Do you like philosophy? Because it sounds really philosophical, like where your blindness is and
more neurological than philosophical, I would say. But one of my favorite authors is Oliver Sacks. Sacks. I don't know if you know him. Who very famously, The Awakenings, which was also made into a film, and The Man who Mistook His Wife as a Hat is a collection of case stories that he worked with. I mean, I can definitely suggest, like, he has also this book about mainly color blindness, but he also touches on full-on blindness too. It's called The Island of Colorblind. And another book about like deaf people and going deaf, and how like it's called Hearing Voices, I think. So yeah, like all my knowledge and interest stemmed from that. I started reading him in uni, and yeah, it's like it's very inspiring and it's so very interesting. Like all these like. I'm also very interested in like medical anomalies, and like I grew up like my favorite pastime as a kid was just looking at this encyclopedia of diseases we had.
Nice.
What was your most favorite disease visually?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Lepra is nice. I recommend.
I don't. I was just too scared. Like, but I would liked the whole like feeling of being like scaring myself. So I was just like. I mean, my mom is a pharmacist and my dad is a hypochondriac. So I guess like there was no other way for me to be.
It's a perfect pair. And did you want also to become some doctor and like
never.
the vivisections and
No, I really never wanted to become a doctor, but I guess it's because I didn't know pathology was an option.
You have like a heart on your necklace.
Yeah. No, like if I just was not interested in like dealing with people, living people. But as I said, like, but I didn't really know as a teenager. I didn't know really like the pathology was a completely different department that you still had to study for like medicine, like a doctor.
If you knew, you would
maybe
be
I might have
pathologist.
considered. Yeah.
It's also art. You need to be like with your hands, quite good at the motorics.
Yeah.
Similar to making sculptures, maybe.
Yeah, but I really never was interested in like healing aspect of it.
Yeah,
Like,
of course.
it's too much risk, I think. I don't know. I just
Every doctor kills someone.
I guess
Almost. Okay.
surgeons mostly.
Yeah.
And how about your parents? Were they fond of you when they learned that you would like to make art, or did they go out of the house if you are not doctor?
No, never.
I see you drink wine, and did you drink also in Turkey, or did you learn that at Zlín, at Krtek?
Of course, like we were drinking. Like it was not as expensive in Turkey when I was growing up. Like when I was in Turkey, things were a lot freer. Like I thought it was going to shit. Everything was going bad, but Yeah, it was nothing compared to what's happening now. It's been 16 years, so especially especially after Gezi in 2013, everything just went even with a bigger speed downhill.
And are you feeling sad about the situation in Turkey?
Oh no, not anymore. I feel very apathetic about it because I can't.
You are correct Czech now.
Yeah, but I because I did spend so many years being sad about it or frustrated and all that. But what can I do? My first solo exhibition called The War Within was very politically charged, and it really was stemming from everything happening.
So the heads compressed to a small space.
Yep.
Hello again.
Hello, Philip. Nice to see you. We are discussing war and killing people and sadness and these topics. So you can chip in.
I'm already in.
So back then I still had some sort of, I guess, I don't know what not hope, but some notion that art might change or at least nudge a bit. But then, after that, COVID happened. And during COVID, I just really could not continue following the Turkish news at all anymore. I had to keep my sanity somehow. And I'm still not really actively following Turkish news anymore at all. When I go back to Turkey, of course, I get suddenly immersed because that's all my parents watch, all these news and discussion programs and all that. But I'm not actively seeking it out anymore. I used to.
There is the Stoics philosopher Epictetus, and he says, what you can change, you can invest your energy, but what you cannot change, don't matter about it because it cannot be changed. So in case you are feeling sad about something that cannot be changed, you cannot help, but on the contrary, it will influence you and kill you. So it will be no good, but only bad.
Yeah.
So maybe it's good to invest the energy into things that can be changed and maybe into creation and art and things that you can bring happiness for people, especially with the spiky hearts and creepy stuff that I like, and it makes me happy.
Nice
and
to hear.
not care about something that cannot be done anything about.
Yes, because it's really, really frustrating. Everything is so frustrating. Every single that's not.
I think our podcast is going more gloomy and gloomy, and I of course like it. And I think we should inspire from this podcast from the future and make it the most depressive podcast in the Czech Republic. So thank you for helping to accomplish my dream.
You're very welcome, I guess. Sorry to the listeners.
And is there something positive from Czech Republic for you?
Not at all. Be honest.
I already told the positives. You don't think the things I said were positive?
Of course. Stealing from students.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, I like how art is very much in the culture. It's very intertwined, and it's not it's such a separate entity. In Turkey, art is not a part of everyday life, unlike here. And I mean, it's so evident and obvious, from everything, from the architecture and from the at least the people that I got to know or came across, they are all very well, more or less educated in art. Maybe it's because of the circles I'm running in, but like, yeah, even just, regular people know what things when it comes to art, which is great.
No, it's in Prague, and I think there are people that like exhibitions, and you meet them, but most of people are completely stupid, and they are already born with lobotomy. And if it were not Prague, I think there is not many interesting places to go for culture, of course.
Yeah, of course. That's
Zlín
I'm
and Strauss and
I'm talking about Prague, of course. Zlín was I came to Zlín from Istanbul, almost 20 million people to like about 20.
The city in the forest.
Yeah, it was such a shock, like such a culture shock. And also during the weekends, all the students were just going home, even to Liberec. Like it just didn't make any sense to me. But weekends were like complete ghost town. That was like so surprising because I've never heard or seen anyone going home every weekend in uni or like after high school.
I still do it. No, not every weekend, but I go to my father's house.
Where is it?
It's on Žatec. And
how far away is it?
I don't know. I don't count the kilometers. I think 100 kilometers maybe.
It's close. It's like an hour.
Yeah, hour
Yeah,
and
but
something.
like, I'm talking about Zlín, Liberec to Zlín, like it's 8 hours.
8 hours.
Isn't it? Yeah,
So-
even Prague is like 5 hours from Zlín.
But
Maybe
that
5 and a
on bicycle.
They need to go home for money and food.
Yeah. To steal money from their poor parents so they can drink at Krtek.
Yeah,
We already have 1 hour of podcast. Is there something we didn't mention and we would like to say? For example, your favorite color or...
Well, this exhibition is going on. I don't know when this is going to be available to listen, but the exhibition is extended until the 9th of December.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to have a vernissage also on 9th November,
With wine?
hopefully.
Oh.
So if you're listening to this before the date, please come, enjoy.
It's Belvedere.
Beseda.
Belvedere is also a good gallery in Austria. Beseda Gallery Lihovarská 12, Lihovarská 12. So please visit and buy all of this stuff. So Ozlem has money for wine and new cameras for making films.
So thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
For crying. And thank you, Kamil, that he suggested this podcast.
Yeah, that's some final words, and I feel it interesting that people like to view sicknesses, and I think even a sickness is something beautiful in regard to the aesthetics, and nature can bring a lot of forms and colors which are surrounded about us and we don't notice. So when you cut yourself and you see like blood coming out, I think you can enjoy the view and be happy about the art that is around us. So see you next time.
So, and I will teach myself when I'm doing opening of podcast to look at the camera next time.
Next time, come on.
You have
Which
this one.
This one next time.
Or this one. Oh, also that one. Ciao.
Ciao.
How you say goodbye in Turkish?
Güle güle or hoşça kal. No, the difference is if you are the one staying and you say güle güle to the other one who's
Güle
leaving.
güle.
And if you're the one leaving, you say hoşça kal to the person who's staying because it literally means hoşça kal, stay nice.
Mm-hmm.
And güle güle is like the shortened version of go
Fuck yourself.
laughing, go by laughter or like go happy. So
Go happy. Gule,
güle güle.
gule. Gule, gule.
Okay, but we will cut this.